Hi, I'm Sophie, and I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm here to help with that. And we are
SP Film Viewers.
You know what, Sophie?
What?
I hate Illinois Nazis.
I think everybody does. I didn't really... I was saying this, obviously, my naivety of this still being a thing now, possibly, like, people are still like that. I just thought that was, like, long gone, like...
No, we still have these neo-Nazis still.
Why?
What?
Like, just let it go. It was in the past. It was history. That's the way I see it. Everyone like everybody. That's
That's
the
never
way the
gonna
world
happen.
should be.
Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the comedy musical cult classic Blues Brothers.
I've been really looking forward to watching this. I keep pointing it out to you going, I want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be like, and then it'd be like something else comes up and then I'm like, I keep coming back and be like, I want to see this. Yeah. And I think the main reason for me is when I was a little girl, we went, obviously, always get a story of when I'm in America.
Yeah.
Because this is like the only big family holiday we had. We went to Universal Studios, which obviously that's the studio that does Blue Brothers. And there was this kind of play show thing that was around at that time. I don't think we went, but there was like a street that you can go down.
Uh-huh.
That's literally like kind of dedicated to the Blues Brothers.
Oh, okay, right.
I don't know if it's still there. It was a long time ago when we went, but and I think the music somehow, because it had like obviously they play the music on the street.
That's probably what stuck with you the most.
Yeah,
with it was like it kind of intrigued you, I guess. Like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, and I'd never seen it obviously because I was only about 12 years old at this point when we went to America.
Okay,
so I've never actually seen the Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
and I think this is why I wanted to kind of tie that jigsaw piece up. So the things I was seeing, that was probably the street of the Blues Brothers, and not being aware of what it really is until maybe now.
Mm-hmm. Can you recall from what you saw back then? Does that play a part in any of this within the film? Can you remember?
I think it's more the cars, the era. Obviously, this the guys in the suits with the glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
the Ray-Bans.
Yeah, definitely iconic. And I think it's mainly the music. I think for me, so certain tracks, I'm like, why do I know this? So there's that one which is
I was like, I don't actually know what it was called, but I had to look it up, and it was the Peter Gunn theme by Henry Mancini, and it's kind of like it's all like espionage, like do 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 going on. It's like and you said that you found it funny because it was just. Well, what was the reason?
I don't know. I just feel like there's something somewhere in my head, and I don't know if I don't even know where I'm getting this from. I feel like it's one of those things where somebody has a gun and they're hiding behind the wall and they're like kind of pointing out and shooting and then coming back in, and it being like this comical kind of piece of music that you
That's
can
what I mean
use.
by espionage. Yeah. Almost like we haven't seen Austin Powers, but that kind of. Like
no, thankfully.
Silly giftedness.
I think I would absolutely hate that.
Yeah, knowing what you like with comedy, you probably would. But
I feel like just him in the chair, turning round, like stroking the cat, even that annoys me. Like, and that's not even Austin Powers, but it's the baddie, isn't it?
From the James Bond films, yeah.
Like, yeah. So and is he Groovy Baby? Is the Austin?
Yeah,
oh no.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
Thank God.
We're here to talk about Blues Brothers.
So, you have your two main characters, which the reason why you know the names before they even get said is because it's written on the knuckles.
Yeah.
So you've got Jake and you've got Elwood. Quite like Elwood as a name.
It's quite unique, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I don't think I've heard that before. Jake is just, sorry, anyone who's called Jake, it's a bit of a common name.
Yeah, Elwood sounds more like a surname, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, I quite like it.
Or it's that you call someone as a nickname, like...
Yeah, I don't really know anyone called Elwood, to be fair. No. And they're both, obviously, brothers, which, to be fair, they do not look like they're brothers. Like, nothing in common, like, not even anything. One's really, really short and a bit dumpy, and the other one's quite lanky and tall.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't really tell about the facial features, because you never get to see one of them's eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I said to point out to you, we should know one of them, at least, the taller one, Dan Aykroyd, has recovered way, way back when we sort of started this podcast, the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'm still trying to... Did I really like him?
Yeah, you did, yeah. He was called Ray in that.
Because he was really, really nice.
Yeah.
And lovable, and a bit like a Sam the Pan Man. I think I remember saying that.
Yeah, I think that's probably right, yeah.
I think I said that. Which, weirdly, obviously I can't tell if that is him or not, to be fair, because you don't get to see his eyes. So I feel like the eyes are the window
to your soul, as they say, yes.
So it's like, for this movie to work really well, and the expression of a face, it's very masked.
Yeah, it's all about them just appearing like cool and collected and mysterious, because obviously you've just got them behind the shades and the hat and everything, and it's just
strange.
Yeah,
it is. But I love the concept behind it. Yeah. I really do. But I think that shows how strong their acting skills are, because you can't be portraying emotion through glasses that are pitch black.
Exactly. You can't. Yeah, raising your eyebrows. It's kind of all just playing it straight and not. To influx on the whole. But it's the way the emotions.
It's more the movements within their body, I think, that they seem to portray the character through it, which is a different way of acting. So obviously you get Jake coming out of prison.
Yep. So he's been in there he's served 3 years out of his 5 for his sentence.
So he's smoozed somebody somewhere, obviously, to get out of prison earlier, but it doesn't really tell us exactly why he's in prison.
No, but it kind of comes later as the story progresses, but it's basically because he attempted to rob a gas station to pay the band.
Oh, bless him. So he had good intentions.
Yeah.
But to be fair, go big or don't rob anything at all. Like, why the hell a ast station? Like, rob a bank. If you're going to rob anything.
Too much like hard work.
Yeah.
Too much planning.
Yeah, I don't feel like these guys have got much foresight. They're always on a whim and a prayer here. Pretty much, and I think it's more definitely Jake's charisma gets them by.
Yeah, definitely more so.
Elwood kind of just tags along. So, pulling up in a police car to pick Jake up, which doesn't go down very well. But the reason behind that is because, obviously, the perks of a police car, which I never really thought about this, but to be fair, this police car is going to go faster, isn't it? I wonder what, dial on a police car you have. Does it, can you go even faster? Do you know what I mean?
Never really thought about that, to be honest.
Is it like a sports car, but covered up in a police car? It must must be more robust and sturdy and...
I mean, this car does go through a lot, to be fair.
Yeah. So it makes you think, actually, well, what make is a police car? Why isn't everyone driving one? So that literally was in my mind, once he said that.
Well, I think that would lay a bit of a problem if they were to be painted like they are.
No, but you could make a police car, the same make,
right,
but have it a green one. I don't know. Probably the police car wouldn't want that because they'd never be able to catch anyone, would they then?
No. So the main premise that we have for the storyline is that the orphanage that they grew up in is being taken over, closed down, what have you. And they need $5,000 to pay the taxes on it to save it, basically. So they're like, well, what are we going to do? We don't really have the money to do that. It comes across that they're not very religious anyway, and despite the fact that obviously the orphanage, we have the penguin who, as she's called, who's the nun.
Teach you the 10 Commandments and you still have a bad attitude.
Yeah, I do like the part in when they're there, don't take the Lord's name in vain and whatever, and so they're like, oh shit, shit, and then she keeps hitting them.
Actually, that was quite funny, and I don't think many things are funny, but that made me laugh. But I don't know if it's because I I actually went to a private Christian school when I was a lot younger, and like saying "oh my God" was like such a bad, blasphemous kind of thing to say that like I used to then go around going "oh my gosh," I'm thinking actually I hated myself for it, because it's like it was probably false,
self-filtering.
like I know obviously I don't swear a lot in front of people, but it was one of those like
it just seems weird to say, doesn't it, that way?
It's
very
just,
PG teen, if that's even.
So it's really bizarre. So I kind of related to Jack and Elwood a little bit with the fact of
Jake and Elwood.
Oh yeah, Jake. Do not kind of have to be blasphemous, I guess. Obviously, I'm so sorry that if I do offend anyone saying "oh my God," but it's just one of those things. I
don't think we've started swearing in much worse things now, haven't we? So it doesn't really matter anymore.
So yeah, I love the fact that and I love the fact that they're in them old school tables, you know, like what you used to be at school in, like you kind of slide in, and Jake has a problem obviously because he's a little bit more rotund, trying to get into that.
That was a good. Obviously, it was a good one. They were kind of like, oh, let me come forward, see your face, and then they kind of just shuffling the desks, and then the initial thing with these weird like opening and self-closing doors,
really bizarre. Like I didn't get that.
Very eerie, almost eerie, isn't it? But
I was wondering if God is just like providing the door shutting. I don't know.
Yeah. But then, Jake then tumbles down all the way down the stairs while he's got the desk and chair around him, and he's just going to shatters at the bottom.
But I love the fact that they still want to do good by where they grew up.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know why they are orphans. We don't know what's happened to the parents or anything like that. That history doesn't really delve out of what.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they see that orphanage as their home. Obviously, you've also got, is it Curtis?
Yes.
He seems to be part of the orphanage as well. He looks after the little boys that are now kind of present in the orphanage. Yeah. And they've got that relationship with him as well. And I think that's kind of like a nice little background of, okay, they're doing all these really, really bad things, but actually their intent behind what they're doing. Not saying that you can go and rob a bank for whatever reason that you think is good intent. I'm not condoning that.
No,
but I think for the light humour of a film, it works. So then this brilliant idea comes. We've got to get the band together.
Because he goes into this like almost OTT like gospel church situation where we have James Brown being the sermon. I think this is really great. I mean, I've always kind of like wanted to go, because obviously it seems like they all seem very passionate about what they're doing in there, praising like the thing, but this is like to the extreme levels.
No. So I've actually been to one of those churches.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think I didn't get that vibe when I was there.
Okay.
So I think this is really hard. Like you really want to be kind of part of it. You want to be dancing. You want to be flailing your arms around. And sometimes when that happens and you stood there and you're like, I'm really not feeling this. Like that was me. And I was a little bit like, I feel like I should be doing something here. Like I should be feeling something, but there's literally nothing. I would love to get that help about it, but it just...
I mean, just to observe, don't get me wrong, I'm not wanting to be jumping around with them.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing, like, if you've been participating, I think you would look like the odd one out, which I did. I did. And it's a little bit like, wow, okay, these people are full of beans.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know.
Very soulful.
Yeah. And I'm just like, stood there like a pin's not even dropping for me. I'm like, there's no light bulb telling me what I need to be doing here. So yeah, it's quite interesting to observe and watch. But I think sometimes it's one of those awkward situations as well if you're not participating. I don't think they just want you to come in and watch them. No. But I get where you're coming from. I think for me, a religious-ish background I've had, this kind of Christianity kind of vibe to the nuns and everything like that, and this wacko church, which I'm like,
oh gosh,
I'm just like, oh, whew, this is bringing back memories. Which it's not bad memories, but it's just not my fondest
time of living there.
I think I just wasn't my true self to it. It's like I really wanted to be part of this and really wanted that.
Yeah.
But actually it just didn't seem to be true for me.
No. But anyway, at this point, Jake kind of sees the light.
No,
and Jake's
well,
like,
I shouldn't say that.
and Elwood's like, what light? kind of thing, which is, I think it's quite.
That's me.
So then he kind of gets the bug, I guess you want to call it that, and then just starts doing backflips and stuff.
The music in this is phenomenal.
Oh yes,
and that scene is amazing.
Yeah,
and obviously if it didn't have that kind of connection to them kind of situations, then it would be absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so from the music and everything like that, they want to get the band together.
Yeah.
My gripe is I didn't realise how big this band was going to be. It's massive. Like, I don't know why, I just thought it was them two, and then they had a couple of guys, and that were it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot more, like, players in it, it's almost like an orchestra, almost. Kind of one thing we do have, as we get into all rounding the gang up together, the first, like, instance of, like, these car chase carnage that we have going on. What did you make of the whole thing, going through the mall and smashing all the glass, going through all the shops and all that kind of stuff?
It was interesting at first. Like, I didn't mind the first kind of car scene chase. Yeah. I thought it was a bit excessive going through a mall. I do.
Go big or go home.
I feel so sorry for the shoppers and then the people that owned the shops. It's like, are you insured for that? Like, how does that work? Like, if you rang up your insurance and gone, there's a car just drove through the entire mall and wrecked everything. I don't know. But a little bit excessive with the policeman ending up on, like, tippled over and then they're just, like, spinning around. Yeah. But we also have bypassed as well a really, really, really important character, which is Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Like, she pops out of nowhere.
Yeah. She's still, well, the film came out in 1980 and Empire Strikes Back was also in 1980, so this is still, like, while she was still doing Star Wars, or she maybe wrapped up on part of it and then well known for at that point for that.
So I don't really know why she needed to do this, to be fair. Like, it's not
maybe she just wanted to kick some ass because she, like, absolutely goes full throttle with like means of.
Initially you think, what is this girl's problem? Like, you don't understand the background in, like,
what she's doing, because initially you see with this big, like, bazooka thing firing at them in the doorway, and then soon after that is, like, almost the next day she, like, literally levels a building.
Yeah, but do you know what? They're okay. And it's like, how the heck that literally you'd be dead? There were so many times in this film I would have been like, it reminded me a bit of a cartoon in that sense.
Definitely, I think you like Looney Tunes vibe almost.
Yeah, because like the building is literally just collapsed. I'm sure if a brick landed on your head, you would die. Like, then there's another bit where she comes along again. Turbo boosts them out of a telephone box and it spins up in the air.
Yeah, I remember, because at that point, it's kind of like seeing this gasoline tank or whatever, and it says danger flammable, and thinking, I'm thinking, that I know there's a prank here somewhere. I can't remember where it's going to come into play. And it's like, oh yeah, she comes in with a flamethrower and then just
ridiculous. I'm like, how are they still alive? Like, unless it's God providing the way.
As they keep saying, we're on a mission from God.
A mission from God, and I'm thinking, I don't think God would be very happy with this mission, to be fair. 10 Commandments and everything like that. I don't think he'd be down.
A couple of other people that we have, obviously, one of them being John Candy, who's, like, from Home Alone, Uncle Buck.
Yes.
As one of, like, the police chiefs or something like that. Yeah. Senior up to the police who were chasing him initially. Yeah.
I quite like him.
Yeah.
I do. He's a lovable character.
Rest in peace to him, yeah.
But he's funny when that happens. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Also, on the topic of Star Wars, at the beginning when Jake's getting out of prison, and the officer gives him all his stuff back.
Yeah.
At the beginning, Frank Oz, who I mentioned to you, like, did the voice of, like, Fozzie Bear and stuff, and Muppet stuff. Also does the voice of Yoda from Star Wars as well. So yeah, getting on the Star Wars action there.
Everybody coming in, like, so popular. They do have so many people coming in. I don't know how much this film actually cost.
I think it was quite a big budget, especially with all the stuff that happens near the end of the film anyway. But
to me, we'll get to that point.
So then a couple of the people that comes and, there's going to get the band back together. One in particular really stands out for me. Is a particularly good scene anyway. Is when they go into a cafe and...
You better think, Paul.
As Aretha Franklin says, I love that song. That is probably in my maybe top 5 favourite songs all time.
Really?
Yeah.
And can we just dig a little bit deeper of why? Is it?
I don't know. It's just the I think the original song anyway. This is obviously still a little different from what I know of the song anyway. It's kind of like a remix in a sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like 2.5 minutes long, but I think everything about it is just perfect and kind of like everything about it. There's not like it sounds daft, like a dull moment in the song. It's not like a bit like, this instrumental bit's dragging on a little bit or anything like that. Is
it the sass of it?
Yeah, I think it's just very soulful. I don't know. I get that from my mum, who's very much, she kind of grew up with like sort of like in the reggae kind of like music and stuff, and everything, and from the soul R&B soul era. So
is that not your dad's?
He does like some, but I think that's come from my mum.
So, like, if you do something wrong now, if I start singing Aretha Franklin to you, will that ruin that for you?
You won't sing as good as her, though. I'm sorry.
Excuse me? I will try my hardest.
Let's get practicing.
I'll get some sass on. No, but it's a really good scene. But I feel so sorry for her.
Yeah, she does all this, and then he kind of just walks out anyway.
He doesn't even think, does he?
No.
Like, literally. He's not even realising what he's done to her there. Left her on her own. He's going on tour. Ditching her. She's got a cafe. She's got no chef because he was the cook. Yeah. So what does she do now?
Yeah, and the other guy as well. The saxophone player.
Just walks off.
She's like, oh, go on with him.
Cafe needs to shut for the day because, like, literally no one's cooking unless she's doing both.
Yeah.
Poor lass.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
And rest in peace to her as well.
Is there lots of people that have died in this film? Like, not actually in the film, but not around no more. Because 1980.
Yeah. So there's... Well, I mean, John Belushi, who plays Jake, is also passed. So, yeah.
Elwood, is he still around?
He's still alive, yeah.
Oh, we've got one.
Yeah, and also Ray Charles, that's a great song as well, the Shake Your Tail Feather, which kind of like follows it almost immediately after the Aretha.
Yeah. Which is really good, and it have this little bit of a dance scene. I really enjoy these kind of parts of the film. The
choreography they have in all the people in the street dancing along, that was really like...
I didn't know there was a dance to that. I know that sounds really daft.
Did you not?
No.
Take your tail feather.
I didn't know you wiggled your bum in the air. Yeah. And then from the back of that, obviously, we've got a fake music concert gig that they are saying they now have. Jake is.
Yeah, at this like country and western bar kind of thing. So,
I really enjoyed this scene. I thought it was really good the way they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, obviously, they're getting booed and hissed at and chucked at.
Yeah.
Like beer bottles. And then still, when they're doing a cracking job.
I know, it didn't make any sense of it. I think they were just obviously really rowdy and drunk and just doing it for the sake of doing it. But
but they really enjoyed it in the end. But I think this music as well, I quite enjoyed that scene. That does kind of still sit with me.
Mm-hmm. It's not too bad. They sing, is it Rawhide, which is like a TV theme.
I've never heard of it before.
No?
No.
I suppose you wouldn't. It's not. I mean, I think it's just one of those things I kind of know, really. And they sing, I forget who sings Stand By Your Man originally.
I don't know.
So I want to say it's like Dolly Parton or something. I could be completely wrong there. But...
Not sure. It sounds like something she would sing. It probably is a female song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then obviously they've sucked up their worth of money in that.
The gig, yeah.
Yeah, because they thought the booze was free, but it wasn't. So they've not actually made any money on the back of it.
Yeah.
And then they kind of bump it. This bit I could do without. They kind of bump into the old boys or whatever it is, country.
Yeah,
old
the
boys.
old good old boys. Yeah.
And then this gets a little bit too stupid, doesn't it? Where they're kind of like a little bit of a rivalry against him now, and they're after him.
Vendetta, yeah. Oh, and of course we have the Illinois Nazis situation as well when they run them off the bridge where they're protesting, doing the
rally. So now they're
against
him.
Yeah.
So the police are after him.
Yeah, you've got the whole, like, Chicago police force to surround them when they're doing this big, the whole comeback talk. They do like self-promotion, like going round, well, Chicago, and kind of handing out flyers and stuff and everything just for this one night.
Ethan helps out.
Yeah.
They've got this little speaker megaphone on the car.
Yeah.
But I think somebody helps them because obviously I've wrote down here that they're in a sauna.
Yeah,
and they're still wearing the hats and glasses, and it's like, what the hell? Who would do that?
Well, it's so that not breaking character. I think it would look
so funny.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not. it would kind of ruin the persona of them as characters.
Yeah,
if they were to do that, because it's like, well, hang on a minute, I don't want to see what. And obviously, it's not like they've got alien eyes or anything like that behind the glasses, but it's kind of just like they just got to maintain that as part of who they are.
And then the whole band is still like awkwardly there as well, which initially the way that they're panning the shot.
Yeah, it's like, come on everybody, let's go.
Yeah. It's like, didn't really realise it was that big of a sauna that everyone else could fit in as well.
Yeah, so that's how they get the venue and everything.
Yeah, and repeatedly on a mission from God, like all the time. It's Elwood that constantly says that, isn't it? It's like one of his like well-known lines.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would be a quote from him.
Yeah.
So we're getting to a point of where they've rallied everybody up, done a cracking job. It looks like the venue's going to be booked out, and then they run out of gas.
Yeah. The band is there. The concert hall is packed. And it's, we want the band kind of thing. And it's like, Jake and Elwood are still having to be on their merry way to get there. But
well, Elwood's chatting up a girl.
Yeah.
That he then wants to meet at like 12 o'clock and he never does because of the ending of how it pans out. She's just stood there waiting for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because they've driven around town all day and decided, cars. They don't run on petrol, they just run on good love. I don't understand why people think this. Don't get me going. I think I always get into somebody's car and now I actually look at their lights to make sure they've got enough petrol. Yeah. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. I don't drive.
No, you don't. But I've never gotten to that point of anywhere past, maybe a little bit past halfway on the tank, but never like quarter, not even, never ever gone that far.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, just top it up. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Like, unless you're, like, really, really brassic.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But then if you are, don't drive around the whole town.
Yeah.
Shouting about something if you've not got enough money to fill up your tank to get to the place where you need to be. Yeah. Just common sense. But it adds a little bit of drama and tenseness to the film. Because you're like, are they going to make it? But you know they're going to.
Yeah. But before they actually come on stage, they get like an opening act of Curtis doing a rendition of Minnie the Moocher. It's very good. And I like how it kind of does like a hit it kind of thing, and then they kind of like transform into this full like swanky get up thing, like they're a proper band. And then once they finish the song, it kind of cuts back. And then it's like they're just in there where they were normally. Yeah. So it's like that's how they perceive themselves, and everybody was having a great time.
And that's how he wanted to kind of, I get that. Yeah. It's a really good scene, and I loved that kind of opening, and really, he could have just been on stage. I know Jake and Elwood, they do add quite a good pizzazz when they're performing.
Yeah.
So while he's singing that for us, Curtis, we're kind of flashing back to getting into like a sewer to kind of drive the car. And this is where we get the main Princess Leia moment.
Yeah.
I think she's got a big ass gun in this bit, hasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to realise why she's like this psycho crazy woman. She's had a thing with Jake.
Yeah.
And you do get to see Jake's face. It's so weird when that happens. It's like, I thought he was a lot older than that, but he looks like he's got such a baby face.
Yeah.
It's strange. Like, I'd love to know what Elwood looks like. I know you've said he's Ray but like a younger kind of. Yeah. So weird. So I feel like they've had a past relationship or something like that, and it's not gone very well.
Yeah.
But yet he seems to still be able to smooch her.
Yeah, I think it's just doing that, taking off the glasses, and it's kind of like, it's forgiven kind of thing. It's kind of almost like baby blues, but not really.
He's got he does like have the like baby look face, like butter wouldn't melt.
And all is forgiven. And then she's quickly tossed aside him, and it's kind of like, right, let's go.
It's horrible. Poor girl. She was going to be after him again now. After that she's literally just chucked her in a muddy sewer. Like, if you ever did that to me, I swear to God, I would be like Princess Leia with a gun.
Just imagine Princess Leia with a gun, like a proper gun, like in the Star Wars.
You'd love that, wouldn't you?
I mean, she got blasters and stuff, but I mean, like proper, like
Turbo.
Taking out stormtroopers.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Instead, she's like the hopeless, like, help me.
Kind of.
Yeah. So then they somehow, miraculously, a bit of a... do we get that music back again?
Oh, yeah, I think they do, yeah, because they're kind of sneaking back into the venue, trying to get on stage. But yeah, you kind of get that thing where it kind of fits in there.
Yeah.
Well, much better because they're kind of actually like doing the whole tiptoey sneaking around the cops kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite think that adds the value to it.
Yeah.
It's comical for me. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, get on stage, do a brilliant job,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's police, there's the Nazis, there's the
good old boys,
yeah. And you know that they're in for it, and that basically it's not going to last long, and they're going to have to make a run for it.
But before they do, they end up, luckily, some like record producer or somebody from the label is like really interested in they get their guy's sound and wants to like make a record deal with them, and so he's like, here's $10,000
$10,000, so double of what they
or whatever
wanted.
The figure was, yeah.
Yeah,
more than enough.
They're going to be able to help the orphanage in the end.
Yeah.
I think they do kind of say to give it to I think they plan it out so they're quite cleverly knowing that maybe they're not going to be able to give the money to the orphanage. So they say to give it to somebody, I think might be Curtis. Yeah. And they'll sort that out kind of thing.
So the receipt in the morning, where they go to the office in the morning. But now they either got to make the daring escape to get to that, so they make sure that it's all taken care of. And now, after this point, you reckon it was like this is whole like reveal like cops and everything just like a bit long-winded.
I feel like that could have ended there.
Really?
Like they've done the good performance, and then you're left not knowing, which is strange for me. Like really? Kind of, are they going to get put back in the prison, or do they get away scot-free?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like once they know that they've got the 10 grand and they can go and the orphanage is saved, I feel like that could just be all right then.
Right, okay.
This car chase bit, God, it goes on forever. I'm like, really? Like, does it need to be this long? Like, it felt like an hour of my life, and it's like this movie was 2.5 hours, wasn't it, or something like that?
Near enough, yeah.
They could have cut this down. It could at least be made 2 hours, and I was just a little bit like, did it need to be that long? Like, did you feel like it gained? I really enjoyed the musical side of it. Like,
yeah.
I loved that part.
No, don't get me wrong, that's a great element to it. Obviously, that's why it's a comedy musical. Also, I kind of feel like there was more music in it from when I saw it a while ago. But I know, obviously, the whole carnage that happens at the end is a thing that stands out because there's about 104 cars that got destroyed in the process of doing all this, with the police car pile up and stuff. And across
wasteful. Loads of people could have bought those cars and been driving around.
Yeah. But there's like the shot where the car, like almost like dash cam thing, and the car's going like 100 miles an hour or something down thing, and thinking, oh, Jesus, I'd hate to actually be in that passenger seat in that thing because I'm not great with speed, and at the best times and stuff, I always get anxious if I'm a passenger and someone else is driving really fast.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I'm the same. But I think, I don't know, I feel like it didn't add as much as I wanted. I think it could have been shortened. I think they put all of their efforts into this, and it was like, this isn't actually the best part of the film for me. There's so much more stuff that you've done prior that is golden, and this is just like, okay, right, are we going to wrap it up now?
Yeah, Chicago's most wanted, it seems, because like there's so many cops and everybody.
To be fair, I'm sure there's somebody else out there that's doing a worse job and doing something much worse, criminal-wise, than these two.
Yeah,
and it's like, seriously, you've just got, it's like a Tom and Jerry kind of situation, I feel like.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
They're trying to chase these two for no reason. That's probably
what Joan Landis was going for, who's the director of this.
So, sadly, they get put back.
Yeah, so they managed to get the receipt to clear the check or whatever it is for the orphanage to get what they're winning. A brief cameo from Steven Spielberg, which obviously I didn't realise from back whenever I saw it last, was like, oh my god, is that here? Yeah, you look so young there doing that. And then almost immediately as they do that, it's like they're all like in a very much cartoony fashion again, like surrounded by like a million guns pointed at them.
Yeah.
In the room.
Poor guys. I do feel sorry for Jake most of all. He just got out of there and I was getting shoved back
in the slammer. Yeah.
At least he's got his brother with him this time.
Yeah. And the band's all there playing with him in the prison county jail.
Which I don't really know why, to be fair, because they didn't do anything wrong.
Accomplices to them. I don't know, but
possibly.
I doubt they turned themselves in.
Maybe not. You know what I mean? They don't really feel like they did anything. All they did was play in a band with him. Like, why are they in prison? Unless they had other things like criminal records.
I doubt, no. But they'll seem to have a good time anyway.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Despite where they are, but anyway.
Yeah.
And that's the film. Before we get to the scoring, is there anything else to add you want to discuss?
I think mainly the main parts for me were the musical scenes. Like, that's the most enjoyment.
Yeah.
I'd have more of that. And less car chases.
Right.
Personally. I think...
You think the budget would have been better spent on actually getting more musical numbers than...
killing so many cars in the process, you know, like they could have, I don't know, added another cameo in or something like that. That I'd have enjoyed that personally more. And make it more of a musical. Really enjoyed the comedy side of this, which is bizarre for me.
But it's more like old school comedy, I'd say.
It feels genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Like, comedy's a really fine line for me. So if somebody's really overdoing the comedy to try and make it funny, I hate it. I absolutely hate it because, like, well, this is not even realistic and it's not funny.
Okay.
Whereas if it's...
But I mean, there's situations in this where it's not realistic, like, say, the building collapsing and then just getting up. I find that really funny.
I don't find that funny.
The whole comedic element of that, it's like, oh, brush it off like it's nothing. But
I think it's kind of the way it's portrayed in a cartoon way, which I love cartoons because you know they're a cartoon. It's not realistic or anything like that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, for example, going to an Adam Sandler film.
Here we go again.
It's one of those where it's just not realistic, any of it, and it's so goofy and just like the storyline,
the way it's portrayed, yeah,
and it's like it's not funny. It's just not delivered in the right way. This does for me, and I really, really value that because it's like comedy for me is hard pushed. Give me any old school comedy. Maybe I'm just like an old soul. Like,
I've said this before to you. With that, you seem to like. Well, I mean, I like the old music as well, but I mean, like you seem to really enjoy like Singing in the Rain. For example.
I loved that. Absolutely loved that. Like that came #1 film for me. I don't think this is ranking as high as Singing in the Rain for like a musical aspect. I really don't think it's.
No, it's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go scoring first this time?
Yeah, because I'm toyed. I'm torn a little bit with my score at the moment, so I'm hoping your kind of values can help me make sure I'm scoring this
at the last minute. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, my score is going to be 7.5.
You surprised me there.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun watching this again. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great elements with it. Obviously, the music plays a big part, and it makes me like want to like see like a production show. Like there was when I worked at Bradford Theatres. I remember there was like a Blues Brothers experience or something that went on there, and I wish obviously like back then I would have gone to. I wasn't like really just seeing it. I don't think I'd really maybe seen it at that point anyway, or knew enough about it.
I would love to go. So
whenever things open up and there's an opportunity to do that, and that'd be a great experience to see how that sort of compares, how they can condense that into. Obviously, I don't doubt there's going to be like 104 cars crashing into.
I think they'll more lean towards the musical
side of things,
which I would really, really enjoy.
Yeah. So,
but no, definitely.
And the humour works on my level for my sense of humour, particularly the over the top homicidal attempts we have going on, and just how everybody is anyway, and with the way that the car crashes take place and all that kind of stuff. It's just thinking of how much fun that would have been to do to thing, and just like you get paid to just smash up all this stuff.
That must be a boy thing. That must be.
But I think I get what you're saying about it being a little bit long in the tooth of the parts of it. I think it doesn't really need to be so long. I think there's certain things you could trim the fat down a little bit.
Of course, yeah, you could.
But I think that's a reasonable scoring to give this overall for just as a thing to just enjoy now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the musical and the comedic aspects.
So actually, I'm going higher than you.
Oh wow!
So I was toying between a 9, even though it was long-winded.
Oh wow! Okay.
I really, really, really enjoyed this one. It was something that was really key to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think
from your past experience that you never really.
I think so. Yeah.
Did it satisfy you in terms of like in a fulfillment of like, I know what this is all about now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think just for the fact of, like you were saying, it could get chopped down. It doesn't need to be as long.
Mm-hmm.
I was toying between like an 8 or an 8.5.
Okay.
Just for that. I think the reason why I'm scoring it so high is I love the musical aspect of it.
Yeah.
Really think it's cleverly done. I love the cameos that you get from the musical. So you get Aretha coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Really think they're really good scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the relationship Jake and Elwood have.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're wearing glasses most of the time, and you still get this kind of really funny character portrayed between both of them, I think is a really good job on their part. I think it's just an overall really good comedy film, even though it's
something about it's kind of like you want them to succeed, and
even though they're bad.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those weird things because like you want them to do well, even though actually the way they do going about it, it's not the greatest way of doing things, but their intent behind it. I feel like they are quite lovable characters. I think obviously I feel like I've got a little bit of a connection towards them, and I like the Tom and Jerry kind of Looney Tune vibe of comedy within it. So I think it's got a lot going for it that makes me enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go 8.5.
Well, you really surprised me there.
Have I?
Honestly, I thought you were going to be like similar level to what I was.
That's why I thought you was going to score it high, and I was thinking I was scoring it a bit too low for what it was. So that's why I wanted you to go first.
Okay. I don't know if that makes me come across a bit snobbish. I don't know with my decision on.
No,
on
entirely.
Saying that,
you've got
because
your
I'm
own
not saying
opinion.
that. It's like but how could you say that it's not one of the best?
Well, I didn't think E.T. was, so I scored that really low. It's everybody's opinion to their own, but I think I maybe have a bit more of a connection than I thought I did, and the music definitely.
So we've determined, I think, that you, as long as there's musical numbers in films, that you kind of lean more towards them as proven with Singing in the Rain, I guess, maybe.
Maybe I really like it that way, yeah. Well, I love Grease. Even Dirty Dancing, like, the acting's a bit crap.
Music definitely saves that film, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It was horrible watching it with you, because I hated every minute of it because I knew what you were thinking in your head. You said
you loved it at the time.
I loved watching it. I just didn't love watching it with you.
Not even in the drive-in setting you didn't enjoy it. God.
No, I just knew that you weren't enjoying it, I guess.
I was trying my best to enjoy, but oh dear.
I don't know if you get that vibe. Like, if you put a film on and I'm really hating it, how that makes you feel.
It's a bit like Old Boy, I suppose, where it was kind of like I knew you weren't going to be like, oh wow, this is amazing with the content I'm getting to discover with this. But I get what you mean. Yeah, you kind of want you want people to like what you like the way that you do, and it kind of hurts you a little bit inside when they don't, I guess. But
like when I put Pretty Woman on, you pleasantly surprised me on that one. You crushed my heart with Notebook.
Yeah.
Absolutely crispy.
But I'm very pleasantly surprised with how you've scored this one.
Thanks.
So again, that's always a nice little thing to happen where it's either not got the same or you like it more than I do in things. So.
I do think it could get shortened, or just end with the car, not having the car chase
a shortened
as much.
one, or abbreviated.
Yeah. But overall,
okay,
a brilliant film that I think anyone would really
enjoy.
So
you watch it again then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, if I had to spare 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we didn't even watch the extended cut, so I don't even know what. I don't know. I've seen it myself, so I don't even know what that entails. But we definitely want to try and see the show in a theatre or something once the next one comes available. Cool.
I love stuff like that, and I think, to be fair, Lion King as well would be my number one. It's been in the Bradford Alhambra, and I didn't get a chance because obviously tickets are like hotcakes. They just
yeah.
But I would love to see that.
Yeah. So here's to the future with that then.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully we're getting somewhat light at the end of the tunnel with all of this. I hope people are feeling that way elsewhere in the world, and that we actually hope. I'm praying for 2022. That's this year.
Yep. For various different reasons.
Yeah, hopefully there might be a big wedding bell.
Yep.
You can draw us with a little veil on then. Even though I'm not wearing one.
Just the one person. I'm not wearing one.
No. You can just have the top hat that you're wearing.
So, thank you very much, everybody, for listening to this episode.
Yep, thank you so much for listening. Also, a big thank you. We got us first Buy Me a Coffee.
Yes, we'd like to thank the 100 Things We Learnt from Film podcast for supporting us with that. Very much appreciated, guys.
Thank you so much for my hot chocolate in advance. And also definitely go and check them out. They do some brilliant stuff, and they're going to definitely make you laugh. So
yeah. And we are definitely overdue to have them on our podcast.
We really are. Please make it something that I can enjoy, though, because, gosh, it'll be something that I won't even know what to add value to, but it will be brilliant. So, yeah, we definitely, hopefully, in the foreseeable future, that will be coming up, and it will be fantastic.
And for anybody else who obviously wants to help support us, if you enjoy the content, of course, then please find our Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes, and also on our Linktree page, which is got all our social media links, the Twitter and Instagram of SP_film viewers. And of course, that's where you can find all our other episodes to listen to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and wherever else you might get them from. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts as well. Helps get us out there in terms of other people finding us. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, so definitely please go and listen to any of the further podcasts we have done. There's loads of brilliant films that we've seen now. My knowledge is getting very, very, very vast. There's only a little bit of space in my head that I can retain these films. So please listen to them. I might even have to go back and remember what I've actually watched, because there's only a certain few that actually are up there for me. But thank you so much for listening.
Yep.
I hope you've enjoyed our episode. I really have.
Good.
And I would recommend anybody to go and watch The Blues Brothers if you haven't seen it, which obviously many people will have.
Yeah. It's very, very popular.
Unless you're locked in a cupboard like me.
But don't check out Blues Brothers 2000, because it's not very good.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the sequel they did.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What?
The Nimbus 2000 from Harry Potter. That's literally where my head went when you said that.
I'm sure that's a lot better than what that film is. Oh dear.
Does it have still the same two guys in it?
No.
Oh well, no. I'm not watching it.
Just Elwood.
Oh.
And the other kid that joined him on the.
No. Why do people do this? It's like Back to the Future. Why did they make a 3? Nobody should make a 3 unless it's like a Harry Potter or the Lord of the Rings, where it's like a sequel kind of thing and it carries on and they've got the books for it.
Yeah.
But just to make more money, stop it.
It's the quest for more money.
It's just greed.
Yeah.
It's like when Harry Potter and Twilight decided to split the last film into 2. Wrong. Anyway.
And Peter Jackson with The Hobbit, the last one as well. That was unnecessary. That
was so polite, Paul. It really was. You're so cute. It was unnecessary. I was like, just stop it. It's wrong. And you're like, so polite.
So, thank you very much for listening, and we will speak to you next time.
Thank you so much for listening. Speak to you next time.
Bye.
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 Take care now. Bye-bye.